For many in Wisconsin, dairy farming is a way of life. But recent times have shown a labor shortage, making it harder for these farmers to produce. I am Ben Jarbo with the Midwest Farm Report, and one school here in Wisconsin heard this call for help and implemented the only peer dairy science program in the nation. Wendy Vandenboom, a dairy science instructor and veterinarian with the Northeast Wisconsin Technical College, shares the story of the program as well as what the future holds for the school.
Sure. Well, we were developed about 6 or 7, maybe even 8 years ago now, in response to the dairy producers in this area, Northeast Wisconsin, looking for skilled and educated employees to come on the farm. So they came to the NWTC leadership and they really requested a specific dairy science program. So that's pretty much how my program got developed. The classes are focused on the dairy side. We do dabble a little bit in some of the other aspects, but primarily it's going to be on the focus of the dairy. In the past, there have been dairy science opportunities through some of the four-year colleges, but as things have changed, especially after COVID, they've streamlined some of their programs and kind of included the dairy in more of a broad-based animal-type science program. So currently, as far as I know, we are the only dairy science-specific program in the United States.
And having such program with high demand there around your area where the school is up by Green Bay there, how many students do you get a year for that?
It can vary a little bit, but I average roughly between 6 and 10 students every year. It's a 2-year program, but there are like mini certificates or micro certificates embedded. So say someone is interested in raising calves, they can take kind of the calf oriented classes and get that certificate. Even someone who is a 2-year degree will get those certificates, and that's a really nice thing to go back to those farms and say, here, I'm getting some, education, I'm getting some skills, some additional training. It might be worth a bump in pay. It certainly will count if they're doing the Farmers of Assuring Responsible Management program. It will count for some of their training for their employees for that. So it's actually a win-win on both sides for the student and the employer.
And if we look at the trends of these students, what's the age range of the students? Is it mostly younger people getting into this dairy industry, or is it people that may be older and trying to see if this is something they want to do?
I actually have kind of a mix of both. I would say it's probably still a little stronger toward the newly graduated, 18, 19-year-olds. But I do have people who are coming for second careers, just trying to do something different, looking for something to get back out working with animals instead of being in an office, for example. So it kind of goes across the board. It's open to anyone.
And through this program, what are some of the key topics that you go over, or just what do you teach these students?
Sure. Well, I kind of look at it, like I said, from the 2-year program. We take a class in the very beginning. It's an introduction to dairy class, and we really kind of hit all the aspects all the way across. And then as the years kind of go through, we peel back the layers and go a little bit deeper. So we'll go into dairy nutrition. We do have a class on dairy reproductive management where students will learn how to be artificial inseminators. They will be certified to be AI inseminators when they're done with the class. We have a farm records, dairy records and analysis, learning how to use software, how to analyze the data, tell us what the cows are doing, nutrition classes, animal health classes, raising calves or replacement management class. We have a farm business plan class where they literally learn how to put a farm business plan, something that you take to your lender. They learn how to do that from the start to finish and kind of just fill everything in. And then at the very end, we have a production management class that kind of pulls everything we've talked about for the last 2 years back together so that it kind of makes sense again as to, how would I work this as a herd manager, or even if I worked in industry as a consultant or in sales, how could I take this information and help my producers?
And when you're talking about certificates and getting an associate's degree, what's the difference between those for those that are thinking about going into this dairy science program and not sure if they want to spend a full 2 years? Can they just go for a certain certificate?
Absolutely. We have several different certificates kind of set together. They all are part of the classes. They're the classes that are part of the program. So you can come in and take, like I said, so if you were a cow or a calf, perhaps, you'd probably take a husbandry class and learn how to do well-being. Maybe you'd also take the housing class and learn how to, what's the best current thought on raising calves as far as ventilation and bedding and stall size, et cetera. And then there's the replacement class. So you take 3 classes that would be part of the dairy science program, but you'd get that mini certificate saying, I've taken these classes that are kind of in that calf pathway. I also have more of an economics one, which will take the Ag Econ, dairy records, and then also the Farm Business Plan program. And then I just have a basic husbandry. So again, the husbandry class, some nutrition class, and then a basic the production management. So basically, how do we put the cow together and do the best we can for her? So if you just want to come for a few classes and get that little mini certificate, that's totally fine. We do have a technical diploma embedded as well. That's just the first year. But most students, once they get on campus, start taking the classes. If they've started out as a technical diploma or a certificate, most of them end up coming back and doing the full 2-year associate's degree.
And with these students, are all these students coming from Wisconsin, or where are you pulling them from?
The majority have been from Wisconsin, but I do get students as far away as from Madison, and I do have a student right now who is from Idaho. Again, he found us as being the only dairy science program, and that's why he came here.
Is there any other information that you'd like to share, whether it be about the curriculum or the school itself and what it offers within agriculture?
Sure. We have, as far as NWTC, we have my program, the Dairy Science Program, but we also have Sustainable Agriculture, which focuses more on organic or things like winemaking, cheese making, those kind of things. So those are options out there as well. And then we do have 3 different instructors who are working in the farm business and production management, and they work directly with the farms. Their class period is more from November to March, and they'll come in and basically let people know what's going on new. Every year they rotate between different topics to make sure that they're covering things to keep the farmers who don't have a chance to get on campus can at least stay apprised of what's happening and what's new in the ag industry.
And if we take a look forward at the future of the school, is there anything new that might be coming in that you would like people to know about, or just new advancements with the school?
Well, we're always looking to add new technologies. We very, very tightly work with our advisory board, which are people in the industry here in our area, letting us know, what they want their employees to know. I'm trying to figure out how to get a welding class put into my program, because that seems to be a popular thing that a lot of producers want to have as a skill. But we do keep up with that. So there's always new things, new technologies. An ultrasound training machine is something that's on my to-do list as we go forward. And as far as NWTC, we're constantly growing, evolving. We have changed to an 8-week program, which means our classes run 8 weeks instead of 16 weeks. The idea behind that is students take 2 or 3 classes at a time instead of 5 or 6, allowing them to kind of focus more on that material. In an 8-week time period, it's a little easier to get through that than, oh my gosh, I have a whole 16 weeks I have to stick with this. So it fits well with some classes, and some classes it's a little bit of a struggle sometimes to keep the students kind of on top of things, but overall, most of the students are pretty happy with it.
Vandenboom says that she hopes to get the word out about this program to help dairy farmers across the state of Wisconsin and the U.S. For the Midwest Farm Report, I'm Ben Jarbo.